Habi is a visionary initiative that breathes life into Filipino heritage, merging tradition with innovation. Imagine a future where rich traditions inspire contemporary design, captivating audiences both locally and globally. Habi champions this creative journey, ensuring the beauty of Filipino heritage thrives in every crafted piece. This effort not only preserves culture, but also celebrates its evolutions for generations to come. And to help us better understand what this initiative is all about, we have with us tonight Twinkle Ferraren and Paolo Palanca, two of the featured vendors in the upcoming 14th Likhang Habi Fair Market. Good evening, Twinkle.
Good evening.
And good evening, Paolo. Thank you so much for coming to PTV News Tonight and up close.
Thank you for having us.
Great. I'm really excited to get to know you guys and what you're all about and these amazing products that you've displayed for us. But first of all, before we get started in talking about what the Likhang Habi Fair is all about, please tell us a little bit about yourself, your products, and what you're all about. Let's start with you, Twinkle.
I'm Twinkle Ferraren, and I'm a designer, and it was my wanting to learn about my heritage that led me on this journey. So I have my bespoke label, Twinkle Ferraren, and I also have another brand called Style Isle, where we highlight more the artistry of the indigenous communities around the Philippines.
So you have two labels, Twinkle Ferraren
Yes.
and Style Isle.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about some of the things that you've displayed in front of us.
So what we have here is our signature upcycled earrings. So because we make a lot of clothing, we don't throw any of the excess fabrics away. Instead, we think of new ways of working with it. Because you know, once you see how a weave is done, every inch is precious. So for us, like instead of throwing it away, we think of like we make it into new shapes, we make it into earrings, bag charms, accessories. So that's what we have here. And do I talk about that?
Yes, sure.
And also on the fair, we're going to have a weave workshop. So it's to teach people the basics of weaving. But this time we're using all Philippine natural fibers.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So you have here under the label Style Isle, so it's a conglomeration of different artisans that have gotten together under this brand, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you also have your own bespoke label, which is Twinkle Ferraren, which is more on textiles and garments.
Fashion.
Fashion.
Yeah, fashion.
Okay, great. Let's move on with you, Paolo.
Thank you very much. So my name is Paolo Palanca. We started out as a school project actually. So I was pursuing a minor in sociology. And for the last class for that minor, we had to research and do documentation on the history of Philippine jewelry. From that, we were introduced to some of the last practicing master craftsmen. So our professor was the one who's worked with this craftsman and his family before. And because of the history of that craft, it's known as filigree tambourine jewelry. It became a dying craft over many years, and our professor's task for our group was to help save it. So we had to do research, we had to do documentation, we had to meet the craftsmen and ask them how is it made, what's the significance of it to your family and to the community that you're in. And we were very surprised when we first met the craftsman. We had all of that in mind, the whole academic aspect, but then when we started doing the interviews, he showed us one of the pieces that he still had, that he hadn't sold for many years. And we were amazed at how beautiful the pieces were. So some of the pieces I brought with us here today, we were very impressed with how fine the designs were, how everything is really handcrafted, so it takes days, sometimes even weeks to make. And it's all made with the traditional gold and silver materials that they've been doing for 4 generations in their family. So from the research project, we were really happy with working with the craftsmen. So we proposed to them that, hey, we should partner up, we should continue, we should invest in this because we really don't want to see this dying craft really leave the Philippines because it's such a beautiful thing that we had no idea that existed. And from that, we continued working with them beyond just the research and documentation project. We partnered with them to really invest in this craft and help bring it back.
Okay, just for the benefit of those that don't really know what filigree tambourine jewelry is, like, can you explain to us? So this is it right here, right?
Yes.
So it's, in essence, metal work. Please
Yes.
tell us about it.
So it's gold and silver. So filigree is the art of wire work or weaving gold and silver. So it's also known as woven gold, which is something very unique about it. Because normally when you think of gold, you think of like the bars or like an ingot of gold. It's not really something you think about weaving. But woven gold is something that they use the pure gold. They turn it into a wire by making it flatter and flatter and then cutting it into strips. And then that woven gold is then turned into different designs with different techniques that the craftsmen have passed on in their family for many generations.
So these are just examples of the world-class artistry of products that we can get to see in the upcoming Likhang Habi Fair. So we'd like to for you to tell us a little bit more about the significance of the market fair in promoting the Philippine textiles, garments, and basically Philippine creations. Twinkle.
So this is the 14th Likhang Habi Market Fair. I literally remember attending the first one when there was just 10 vendors, and now there's like over 100.
There's 90 vendors with 100 booths.
Yeah, so for this year, I think it's important that there's a platform where stuff like this gets showcased and where people can have access to see the beautiful artistry of our country. Yeah.
And I think it's important to note that it's not just, when they say it was started by the Philippine Textile Group, it's not just textiles. We're also going to see, as you mentioned, jewelry, you have upcycled amazing products, and we also have home decor and basketry.
And pottery.
And
also,
pottery.
yeah.
Okay, so we have a whole variety of Philippine creations that are world-class designed as well. Can you elaborate on the theme of the 14th Likhang Habi Fair, which is Earth to Loom, celebrating natural dyes and Philippine textiles? And of course, what is its prime importance in today's market? Paolo?
Yes, so the theme this year is Earth to Loom, celebrating natural dyes and textiles. It really wanted to highlight the importance not just of the process of using natural dyes, but also the importance of it because it's something that also focuses on environmentally friendly practices, on sustainability. It's not just focused on making sure that everyone has to be this 100% right away, but it's just more of highlighting the importance that this is something we want to promote, bring to the forefront, get people to be more aware of the importance of being more environmentally friendly, having the long-term perspective more in mind.
Okay, so I think it's important to note that we're not just looking at a combination of talent, but we're also looking at bringing this tradition to the forefront, to be able to excite a newer generation that, we have amazing products in this country, and this is what we have up for grabs, let's, patronize what we have in this country and show it. But of course, to start it off, how does this fair and market facilitate connections between artists and artisans like yourself, entrepreneurs, and potential customers or collaborators? What do you think is so important about the crucialness of this Habi Fair?
I think it's important that there's this platform and you have a lot of like-minded people who come to this event.
Definitely.
So you see, you see your tribe, you see your fellow textile lovers, artisan lovers, art lovers, and everybody gathers together. And it's nice because like every fair, everyone learns more and more, right, from each other and from the guests that come. Yeah. And we've also noticed how a lot of foreign and international guests also have been attending Habi Fair, so it's exciting. Like,
yeah, if I can
Yeah,
add
sure.
to that.
Go ahead.
So it's one of the really great experiences with the Habi Fair is how it really brings people together. Like you really become friends with each other. Like I'm, for example, wearing Twinkle's, this is hers, very nice,
very
tinirik and
dapper.
binakol. So they mix two different things together, and I love how it looks. Thank you very much. And it also helps build communities in terms of the people from the different provinces, because you all come together, you all come to one fair, and you all get to talk to each other. So we also got to meet people from other communities that do similar things to what we do, and we're able to trade notes, trade insights, talk about design aspects, different motifs. So it's really nice that people were able to have that exchange of ideas, and that's thanks to the platform that Habi provides.
Okay, so earlier, Twinkle, you mentioned that you'll be actually going through like a weaving workshop. But apart from that, what other workshops or demonstrations are related to natural dyes, or I would say the arts, and I would say the craftsmanship that we are also going to see in this fair that attendees can look forward to at the fair? Because I myself, for example, would love to learn all about this. Twinkle.
So there's a partnership with Fashion Revolution Philippines, and they gathered several artisans who are going to be doing workshops like botanical dyeing, so dyeing with flowers. There's a visible mending workshop, embroidery. There's going to be pottery. There's going to be a talk about natural dye by Kat Palasi, Edgar Cornito, who's going to do some painting on abaca, Carlo Eliserio from Aklan, who's also going to show us something about natural dyes. And
There's also going to be the alpaca weaving competition and the pinya weaving competition. So that's another initiative of Habi that's also been very successful. They really look for different weavers around the country with different materials to help promote not just the brands but the weavers themselves. So it's really an empowerment initiative.
Okay. So we're talking about preserving, promoting, enhancing, Philippine creations in general. It's a massive, I would say, genius artistry of world-class proportions. But apart from this venue and the platform to collaborate with different artisans and entrepreneurs such as yourself, what kind of impact do you hope that this fair will have on, I would say, grassroots weavers and their journey towards becoming entrepreneurs as well? Twinkle.
Yeah, so I want to share that actually Habi is sponsoring 3 weavers from around the Philippines to be able to attend the fair for the first time. I think that's really exciting so that they get to see firsthand what it takes, to meet the clients, to see what people like, what people would buy. And it's good because then they get to preserve their traditional techniques, which is very, very important. I think that's part of our cultural treasure and heritage.
I agree. Yeah. Just because, like, in our own experience also, like, making the craft or making the products are one thing, and then seeing people really appreciate it, parang is the rest of the puzzle.
Yeah.
You really feel the fulfillment, you really feel the empowerment, you really feel, proud of what you're doing, which is very, very nice, very positive.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are going to see one familiar face, apart from the many in the Habi Fair. I'm definitely going to be there. Twinkle and Paolo, please invite everybody and our viewers to join you at the upcoming Likhang Habi Market. Go ahead.
All right. So...
Hi everybody. We hope to see you in the Likhang Habi Market Fair. It's going to be in Glorieta Activity Center and Palm Drive Activity Center from October 18 to 20. That's Friday to Sunday.
yeah, mall hours.
Mall hours.
Yeah.
Hope to see you there.
And you can check the Instagram for the schedule of the activities.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much for your time, for sharing
Thank
with
you
you
so
this
much.
wonderful artistry and for your insights. Thank you so much, Twinkle Ferraran and Paolo Palanca.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Charms.
you.